Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for holding this extraordinarily important hearing. And I want to thank our witnesses for being here with us today. And a recent hardship to peacekeeping missions has been eroding host country consent. How can the U.S. government and international bodies and partners better recognize the signs and respond to concerns before relationships erode to the point of mission conclusion and drawdown?
It is a really important question, and I'll tell you, at that African Peacekeeping Ministerial at the National Defense University Force Commanders Roundtable, this was probably the #1 topic of conversation. We expect the heads of peacekeeping missions and the entire UN country team in these countries to have a continuing conversation, a back and forth with the host government. So earlier monitoring and detection of when things start to become difficult in this regard, not just host country consent, but also cooperation, because we are also seeing in some of these peacekeeping missions, the host government is saying, sure, the peacekeepers can be here, and yet they are not providing, nighttime landing clearances for aircraft or allowing contractors to come in with visas in a timely manner to support the peacekeeping mission. So there were other ways to nibble away at the effective delivery of these important mandates of these peacekeeping missions. I think the message to UN leadership is to make sure that we, the member states, we the U.S., because we are footing in large part the bills for these peacekeeping missions, but also we have, a moral responsibility on this protection of civilian peace. Earlier news to us when things look like they're going south, so we can also go in there and engage on these questions. But this also goes back to look at what these strategic competitors are doing. And here we're going back to the Wagner question. Clearly, some of these countries are not interested in protecting civilians. Some of these countries are more interested in corrupt mining deals or other reasons to have Wagner and similar non-state actors in there.
Thank you. Mr. Pratt, what other factors would you add to that in Mali or Somalia or the DRC are contributing to the erosion of host country support for peacekeeping missions?
I'll start with the DRC, who's more familiar with that situation. I think there are regional political concerns and tensions between especially Rwanda and Congo. Mm-hmm. And I think, unfortunately, the UN mission there has been politicized to some degree, but I'm confident that both sides continue to see value in the mission and playing specific roles that can be defined in terms of verification, monitoring, and implementation of a peace agreement. Mm-hmm. So I think as they see value in the mission, there will be continued consent. There is an ongoing discussion, as you know, on the MONUSCO mission on a responsible drawdown, and we're encouraging that very much to make sure that we're not losing tools that could be very valuable. The situation in Mali is much more complicated because the government essentially lost confidence in their ability to carry out the mission against very challenged counterterrorism environment. And so that was an unfortunate decision because that mission, as you know, was implementing a broader peace agreement with the Algiers Accord. So it's an unfortunate loss, frankly.
Okay. And so what specific tools are you using to make sure you are actually recouping some of the assets that are there?
We've worked directly with the United Nations, and I defer as well to the Assistant Secretary to address the question, but we've pushed them directly to ensure that they're removing all of the equipment that they possibly can, that it's feasible and cost-effective financially to be able to do that.
Yeah. My time is run out. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.